Hello everybody and welcome to my first Elite Dangerous video. For those who don't know, Elite Dangerous is one of two highly anticipated space games currently under development. The other being Star Citizen, which has broken records by gathering money through kickstarting and crowdfunding. I think they've reached over $20 million of funding simply through fan and crowdfunding, and that is a first in video game history. Elite Dangerous has kind of flown in under the radar with all the attention being focused mainly on Star Citizen, but that doesn't mean Elite Dangerous is not interesting at all. I think it is a highly interesting game. I've actually played one of the Elite games in my childhood, Elite First Encounters, and I still remember it fondly because I think the Elite games always have been pioneers in terms of what you can do in a sort of open world universe, and Elite has always been about open worlds and doing whatever the hell you want to do. And this game is going to pick up right at its roots, improve of course in terms of gameplay and graphics, and I think it's going to turn out excellent. And I've actually gone ahead and bought the game including early access, so what you're looking at right now is the beta, which of course is not finalized. There's still stuff that's going to be added, so don't take this as a final view on things and how this game is going to turn out. This is really just a first glimpse at the game. What we are looking at here and what I'm going to show off in this video is a couple of combat scenarios which come with the current beta version. These are more or less tutorials. They are not really structured like a tutorial. It does tell you bits here and there how things work and what you can do with your ship. But I hope in the final game there's going to be a more in-depth tutorial, because it can be quite confusing, especially for people who've never played an Elite game in their life, because there's more of a learning step in the in Elite than in most other games. You can actually compare it in the game depth with some of the more detailed flight simulations. And what I'm going to show you first off is going to be the Wolfpack Tactics mission. These first 4 missions are not really that interesting. You're pretty much just facing off against either unarmed waste canisters or just 1 or 2 ships at the most. But this is where it starts getting interesting. We have the Wolfpack Tactics here, where you have to work with a wingman to destroy a ship that's actually far superior to your own. Then here you have a sort of an assassination mission where you have to destroy a bunch of federal fighters while there's a mercenary flying about, and you have to remain stealthed and running cold, because otherwise he'll detect you and you will stand no chance whatsoever against him in combat. And there's a whole bunch of others, but I'm going to just jump right off into the Wolfpack Tactics mission. By the way, I'm playing this with my regular flight sim setup, so I'm using my joystick, my rudder pedals and my track IR. Yes, this game does actually support track IR, and it really works very well. It's really comparable to what you're used to from flight sims. You can actually look around, you can roll your head. You can't really lean around, there's not much room. I mean, you can sort of a little bit dip here and there. And we're already being engaged, and we've got a missile incoming. Oh, that's a great start already. So our ships are down, our hull is intact by 77%. And we're opening fire on him. I'll have to avoid him, because he's going to destroy me if I'm not careful. And quite easily as well. Unfortunately, he does have machine guns, while we don't, because we're just flying a lowly Sidewinder. And he's flying away from us, but I have my engine boost that I'm just cranking out. Oh. So our wingman is not useless at all. You just saw him attack the Misfortune with a barrage of rockets, which took out the Cobra's shields. And we have to be quick and re-engage him, because he's currently recharging his own shields, as you can see in the lower left. It's going on very slowly, but nonetheless we have to make use of the situation and attack as long as his shields are down. Because once he's recharged, we'll have to deplete his shields before he can actually do some real damage on his spaceship. And he's opening the distance again. I'll have to use engine boost again. By the way, these the weapons I have are actually projectile based, so they will drain ammunition. Oh god, he's redeployed his shields, which is not good at all. Okay. He's just ran out of shields again. Because when shields redeploy, they are not at full strength, they are maybe at like 1/3, and they'll need some additional time to actually get back to full strength. So you are still kind of vulnerable. 11%. Okay. Oh, we hit him. And he's a goner. Yeah. We got him. Very nice. Okay, so this was it for the Wolfpack tactics. I'm going to try my hands at the Predator and Prey mission. And I don't know how many times I've failed at this mission, because it can be very, very difficult. Because, as said, you have to keep away from the mercenary in his Cobra. And you actually have to run cold, and using laser-based weapons is going to heat your ship up very quickly. So you have to economize on your weapon usage. But the nice thing is, as you can see here, I can switch between my weapon groups. I have a beam laser, a machine cannon, and I have a heatsink launcher. And I'm running silent now, which means I'm sort of partly obscured from invisible to the radar of the Cobra. And I've destroyed my first target. And I've used my first heatsink, which means that my spaceship has been cooled down again. I'm having a look at where my next target is. I can see something right in front of me. I just hope it's not the mercenary. As you can see, yeah, that's a federal fighter, which is nice. It's not a mercenary. We are within 1 kilometer, so I can open fire. And he's a goner. Yep. Okay. Just to make sure, I'm using another heatsink. And I'm looking for my next target, which I think should be right in front of me. Yes. By the way, in the middle, in the center here, we've got the scanner. Being in space, you obviously can maneuver in three-dimensional space. So the scanner at first is kind of... it can be misleading. And he's gone as well. What you have to do is... whenever you have a contact like the white one here, in order to bring it up in front of you, you first have to maneuver so that the contact is actually displayed in front of you, and then you actually have to bring it in into the same plane as your ship. When the target is actually displayed like on a stick that points upwards, it's the target is higher than you, so above, and when it's displayed with a negative rod, so to say, it's actually below the nose of your ship. That actually can be very misleading at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. So, Predator and Prey. So I'm going to try my hands at the supply strike. We actually get 2 wingmen here, and we have to intercept a big transport ship, including a few escort ships. And the best thing is to first get rid of the escorts and then concentrate your fire on the transport ship, because the transport is pretty much useless in a fight. It does shoot back, but it's not a really serious threat at all. Okay, we have... that's the Lacon type heavy, which is the name of the ship type. And we have some Federal fighters. I have a beam laser, by the way, here. There's a couple of different lasers in the game. There's pulse lasers, which just fire short pulses, as the name suggests. Oops, I actually collided with him. But I did not take much of a damage at all, and he's trying to get away. There's also burst lasers, which sort of they are similar to pulse lasers, but they actually fire bursts like 3 shots in a row. And then there's beam lasers like I have here. They just fire continually, and they are the most powerful, but they also overheat the quickest of all. Okay, where the heck is... there, that's the Lacon. Yep, beam... whoa! That's the Lacon, okay. There's the escort fighter. Yep. I'm going to save up my missiles for the Lacon, because I actually have unguided missiles, and hitting one of the escorts with unguided missiles is more or less just a thing of luck.
Target shields offline.
My laser just overheated. I have to wait a little bit. You can see over the beam laser caption there's actually sort of a bar that tells you about the status of your weapon, and I'm currently being shot at by the Lacan, and I got the escort fighter. By the way, you also have energy distribution, which you can see here on the right hand side next to fuel. You can actually distribute your ship's energy between systems, engine and weapons. Engine is of course going to speed up your ship. System is going to help recharging your shields, and weapons of course is going to put more power into weapons, and it for example helps with weapon overheat. So laser weapons for example overheat less quickly if you put more power in, and you can always either put more energy in this or that subsystem, or you can actually also via a quick button press distribute it evenly, which is what I usually go for. And he's also gone.
Target destroyed.
And yeah, I think there's only the Lacan left, so let's head for him.
Target shields offline.
Oh, don't collide. That could be unhealthy. And he's fighting for his life. It's not going to be much of a use. By the way, in the full game, I'm not sure if it's already included, but in the full game there's going to be sort of like damage modeling, so it's going to make a difference where you hit enemies. If you hit somebody in the cockpit, it's going to possibly kill him outright. If you hit the life support systems. And he's gone. Kaboom. Yeah. And as you can see, there's all sorts of debris flying about, which is quite nice because when you blow something up and you fly through the debris, it kind of makes a noise, which is quite immersive. Okay. I am going to try my hands at factions. The last mission. There's actually a space battle raging between two sides, and you get to choose which side to fight for. And you're going to try and survive or actually win the battle. Where's everybody? Oh, there they are. They just jumped into the system. There's a few anacondas. What are these? Cobras. I think I'm... Wow. Actually blew that thing apart like it's nobody's business. Okay, I'm going to try and help against the anacondas.
Target shields offline. Under attack.
As you can see, the anacondas, they are quite huge, but you should not underestimate them. They are just stuffed full of weapons. for a long shot. This time I've got guided missiles, so I can actually take long shots.
Warning, under attack.
No, don't collide. Whoa, that was close. Oh. What are you doing?
Target shields online.
Oh god.
Target shields offline.
Okay, so I'm putting more power into the weapon system. But as you can see, this is a very slow death on his part. But unfortunately, I only have a pulse laser. Okay, I'm putting more into these systems. Oh, somebody's actually shooting me. Probably one of his Anaconda friends. Is what I am thinking. I don't know what's actually attacking me. I might have to take a look. What is this? Oh! I didn't know they actually had smaller fighters as escort as well. Oh, you don't want to mess with me. I'm going to take you apart. Because you don't stand a chance against the Cobra.
Target shields offline.
And he's done for. So where is his buddy? Oh, there he is. Right. Yep. Oh, he's already 7 kilometers out. Okay, I'm adding more power to the engine so I can catch up. But it's going to be quite some work whittling him down, because he's got so many hit points to him, and his shields have regenerated. This is not going to be easy. I don't know what he's doing there. Slowly but surely we are whittling down his shields.
Under attack.
There should be... His shields should be down, yeah. Okay, oops, wow. That was closer than I intended. Oh, wow. Wow, that laser barrage. We just took a ton of damage. Fortunately, our shields held up. I just wished we had a beam laser, because this is really taking an awful lot of time. 41%. Slow down. This might still take some time. Oh, his shields are back up. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, 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 oh. Wow. Even the shields take like forever to take down. I think they should give players a little more beefy armament for this mission. It's practically impossible to actually kill those guys by yourself. Oh, we actually shot out the drives. You can actually see here. So, what else is going down? We're currently damaging the frame shift device, so he's not going to be able to jump out. Power plant 44%, sheet generator 81. Let's see if we can actually target something other than the drives. So it seems like that's already in place, the damage model. Whoa, okay. Oops. Okay. I forgot to switch back to balanced. So as you can see here, we can actually have a look at different things. This is my ship. Oh, it's a sidewind, another Cobra. That explains why we have such a lousy armament. We've got modules. You can actually see what's damaged on the ship. We took some damage, mostly to the drive. We've got fire groups, cargo, and other functions, which are not that important here, but on the other hand we can have a look at what's broken on his end, and as we saw, his drive is actually out, so he can't really maneuver at all. I think I'm going to maneuver back into his blind spot here. This is probably the safest behind him. So while we are picking him apart, I can show you some more. So you see all the different parts of the ship: cargo hatch, drive, the weaponry, point defense. That's actually very interesting. It is sort of a turret you can deploy, and it's used as a defense against incoming missiles. So it's going to intercept missiles that are targeted and fired at you. A power plant is looking quite badly. You shouldn't have too much power left, but it's still enough to light up the whole surrounding with laser fire.
Target shields offline.
Activate cargo scanner. Okay. Have a cargo scanner. Cargo scoop. Not that I know of. I think that's not installed on the ship. So we can take our time with him. As you can see also, when you browse to contacts, it's going to show you all ships that are in the area of your detector, and you can actually increase the sensor or the display range of your scanner via buttons. This is also where you choose navigation targets. There are none displayed here because this is a combat mission, a training mission. But in the actual game, you'll be able to go to the galaxy map and choose your target of choice.
Shields online.
And he's gone. Excellent. Whew, finally. Alright, so this was a sneak peek of the combat scenarios of Elite Dangerous at this point. I'm going to show you the proper game in another video sometime. It's obviously going to take much more time to show all the features and everything noteworthy of inside the game. The proper game is accessed via this online button here, and you've got more or less two choices: open play and solo. Open play is the way it's meant to be, which is online with other players who go about their business trying to make a living in the Elite universe. Or if you don't want to play with other people for whatever reason, you can also play solo. Of course, open play with other players always runs the risk that somebody's trying to be a douchebag and ruin your day, so you can always go solo and enjoy the game by yourself, which is what I did. And I've already earned some money, had a look around the various systems that are currently accessible, and as said, I'm going to show you this in a different video. So I hope you enjoyed this quick glance at Elite Dangerous, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.